Hello and welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. The final day. February 29th or 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 2. Good old number 2. This is defendant lobby, alright. Oh, defendant. Been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? Where's Emma for that matter? Almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of the 7777777 ID number, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. You know, the only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. That number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True, not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from that list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, Wright. Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you have to say. First time he's ever done something like this. One is hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is draw it out of her. The truth. Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, Wright? This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gann is on her, it's now. February 25th, 10 o'clock a.m. on the dot. February District Court, courtroom number 9. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally this is when the prosecution puts forth its opening statement. Before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Udgy. Been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is at my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I can top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, exactly what is this proposal of yours? Lana, that is to say the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. What's this all about, defendant? I'd just like to make one simple request and I'll be finished. Well then, what's your request? Your Honor, I'd like you to put an immediate end to this trial. Huh? I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office. No, Lana!
Objection!
You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense plea. In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services. But Lana! Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. Prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but has sufficiently proven his case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please. Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise. This can't be happening. It appears time for the verdict has arrived. The court defines the defendant.
Objection!
One moment, Your Honor. Mr. Edgeworth! Prosecution has not yet proven the defendant's guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you. Why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, Oh, I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gaunt. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, prosecution would like to change its first witness. Oh, to whom? As its first witness, prosecution would like to call Miss Emma Skye. I request the court hears her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue. I don't care what you think, Miss Skye. Exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Very well, the court shall grant the prosecution's request. That's okay with you, right, Chief Gant? Worthy, you'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Emma Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. My name is Emma Skye. Occupation, I'm Lana's little sister, and I want to be a scientific investigator. 2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dark of the Joe Dark killings. Is this correct? Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that, though. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time. Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant? Yes, it most certainly is. Well, okay then. Sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. It's bound to lead to the truth behind this trial. Two years ago, I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest. It's a good thing you weren't harmed. I passed out. I don't remember much. That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder? That will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You gotta admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. But I was relieved from defense, but okay, I prefer this. In my sister's office that day. It's gonna be suck to press you on everything. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct? Yes, she was second in command under Deputy Chief Police Gaunt. My sister, she was the best detective ever. Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gaunt and Miss Skye used to be quite the pair. I believe they shared the same office. That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk. Dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too. Police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day. Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work. A man came running in and took me hostage. A man? Yes, Joe Dark. He was a serial killer. Joe Dark was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest. When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right? Upon fleeing the room, Dark proceeded to take the elevator. Must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then he ran into Skye and Gant's office. There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him. Neil Marshall rescued me. What was the prosecutor doing in there? That day, there were 2 people present during Dark's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gaunt and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Almost forgot about Gant. You know, Marshall just recently received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony. I assume that would also be why he was the first to run after Dark. When Dark grabbed me, I thought I was good as dead. And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in. I don't clearly remember what happened then, but I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. Can you tell us about that? Mr. Marshall jumped on Drake. Just then, the lights went out. The lights? It was just about this time of year. A terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby. The electricity went out. Wait a minute. It was pitch dark in that room. You shouldn't have been able to see anything, right? Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind. I see. I told the detective about what I saw then. The detective. Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case. Detective Bruce Goodman. The victim. Yeah, let's hear more about this. So you spoke with Detective Goodman about this 2 years ago. Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial. You told Detective Goodman about what you saw. Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture. A picture? Yes, I think she mentioned that before. Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough? Let's ask about the picture. This picture witness drew. I believe it has very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture. Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony? Yes, Your Honor. Drew a picture of that scene once, but seems to have been lost. Well. I think we have that. On the back of this.
Objection!
Mr. Edgeworth, this little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. Yet you would insist on denying its existence. Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is, as a prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. And there it may well be. But that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold. This is the evidence list for the SL9 incident. Please turn it over, Your Honor. Turn it over. Turn... Ah! What's this? Yes, what is that? Hey, that's it. That's the picture I drew. Indeed. Two men appear to be wrestling here. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? Only the prosecutor in charge should have access to that list. Huh? These lists, they're different from each other. What? It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth, that the evidence list you were handed 2 years ago was incomplete. These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here where they were torn apart from each other. So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What? Order! Order! But Miss Skye, why'd you draw your picture on the back of such an important list? Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor. Wait a minute. This list was torn in half, and that means... Your Honor, are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head. If the evidence list was torn in half, then here there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list. Yes, that's quite conceivable, Mr. Edgeworth. It's possible. Let's see. Something wrong? You even have to ask? Sorry, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn on the back of my list. Is that thing? Oh no. That's that thing! Oh no! That thing was dancing in the evidence room. Wait, was the Blue Badger the murderer this entire time? Clears an act of vandalism is a work of a certain chief of detectives. I guess he was out of scrap paper. Evidence list restored and updated in a court record. Very well, witness. Will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago? Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor. What's wrong with Emma? She seems to be thinking about something as she was looking at the picture. This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. This picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind. Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw. Well, I don't see any contradictions here. It clearly shows Joe Dark about to murder prosecutors Neil Marshall. Defense may now begin its cross-examination. Okay. Did you draw this picture right after the incident? I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. First, I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Damon Gant and Lana Skye. 2 or 3 days later, memories should still have been fresh in our mind. Excuse me, witness? But can you please tell us why this picture is painted in all black? The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows. So at the time, you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue? No, I couldn't see him clearly. Lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor. I knocked to the floor? Dark had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around. That's when I saw the lightning flash. Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed? After that, I must have fainted. You mean you didn't see the actual murder take place? No, I'm sorry. Flash of lightning only drove the darkness for a split second. Not only that, trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. You really need to torture this girl any further. What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here. Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant. Sorry for asking so many times. Are you sure you drew exactly what you saw? Of course, it's the exact scene. Wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detective. Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? I mean, that's not uncommon. No, of course not. Better watch out or you might find some way to cut my salary. I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives. I don't think any story would have been influenced me. Mr. Wright, is there something bothering you about this picture? Huh? Well, that's strange. Claims that this is exactly the scene that was imprinted in her mind. Yet, clear contradiction here. Let's see here. Stabbed in the back, died of punctured heart and lung, and knife tip was in the wound. Stabbed in the back. Yeah, that looks like a stab in the front and above. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the witness picture the witness drew contradicts or contains a blatant contradiction. What? I still remember like it was yesterday. Mr. Wright, Perhaps it would be faster to simply point at the contradiction for us. What part of this picture contains the contradiction? Let's see here. Well, I mean, there's no knife tip. Contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man's holding. Look closely, you see the tip's broken. Even I don't have to look closely to see that, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too. If I recall, the tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body. It's a conclusive piece of evidence to prove Joe Dark was the murderer. I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. The victim was only stabbed once. Then the murder weapon should not yet be broken. Oh! What's the meaning of this? Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there. That's right. What does this mean? The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. Only possible explanation is the witness' memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times. She was sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time. She was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? Treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying is that this broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. Can't deny the possibility. No. Ugh! Order, order, order! So when we come back, looks like we found a naughty naughty. Have a good one, folks.